Rob?
Hello everyone, welcome to Rob's Rogues. Today we're taking a look at DC Comics Multiverse by Mattel. Of course, this is the Justice League wave in the Multiverse line, and more importantly, it's Superman with the final two pieces of the Collect and Connect Steppenwolf. So I'm reviewing these in the order of which they were on the peg at Toys R Us. So Aquaman was the first one on the peg. The next one was Superman, and then two more Batman behind them. So I'm wondering if their peg was full, so they didn't put Aquaman and Superman out on the peg until I had bought 4 figures and they went back and brought the last 2, or they got a whole new shipment in where somebody else had bought Superman and Aquaman. They returned a week later and bought Batman, Flash, Cyborg, and Wonder Woman, and I did the opposite of what I did in the previous weekend. Anyway, like I said in the Toy Hunt video, this is the fastest I've picked up a Collect and Connect wave in one shot. So, there's a couple other figures I would like to get, but I gotta let these spending jets cool down just a little bit. Nothing else to really go over. You could see that the head and torso, the two big pieces to be able to collect and put everything together, as you previously saw, we really couldn't put much together below the waist and above the neck, obviously. Anyway, there's a nice picture of Henry Cavill where they have taken off his mustache digitally. Haha. Again, nothing different. Everything reads the same on the whole bottom part of the card. And now that we have the entire wave, I think this is essentially wave 1. Wave 2 is probably going to be broken up into some other different retailers. But anyway, the whole wave is Superman, Batman, the tactical suit Batman, if we're being picky, because the regular Batman is going to be coming out with a full masked Cyborg. We've got the Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg, and Wonder Woman. You get them all, and then we can connect and put together Steppenwolf. So that is going to be the cool thing to do here. So let's not waste any time. Let's get Superman out of package. We will take a look at his BVS counterpart and even his Man of Steel counterpart. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. And here we are out of the package. The last figure is Superman. You can kind of see that the cape is a little folded. The wrinkle will come out. A little bit of water to kind of wet the cape slightly, and then sometimes I'll place a book on it to flatten some of that out, but I don't mind it. I may not even do that right away. I may just kind of let it naturally kind of rest there, or even just laying it flat and putting a book on it will make that come out. So Superman, this is the, well, technically the first figure in the wave, but the last figure that I picked up literally, because he was the second figure on the peg when I found Aquaman. Does not seem all that different from his Batman versus Superman counterpart, with the exception of the cape and his height. I believe the sculpts are carried directly over, with the exception of the face. I feel like the faces on these are getting better and better for Mattel all the way through. I don't want to rush through Superman's review, but I think this is going to be the quickest one to be able to do, because there's just not that much different. Now, the coloring is different. There have been 3 Supermen in the Snyderverse. Downstairs, I don't have right offhand. I have the Toys R Us exclusive, where it has the heat vision. He's more in the darker body suit, not the black, but the more muted colors. So I just didn't bring him up here for the review, but I have the standard BVS Superman, and we can take a look. Let's look at, the cape is nice. It's nice, shiny metallic cape here. I didn't point it out in Batman's, but they give a little plastic piece in the back to kind of show from the front, where the plastic cape would have been, and then kind of helps harness the cape in here so they can attach it a little bit easier. And I'm fine with that. It didn't bother me as much. So the face of Henry Cavill Superman, I don't think he has any derpy eyes. Kind of like Aquaman a little bit. And I know for some of these, the sculpts are there. They just may not be painted as properly. But I think you could tell this looks like Henry Cavill. The back of his neck looks a little funny. Again, getting this close up on figures, you can kind of notice a little more. I think it's just in the way the head is setting on the ball peg. Doesn't look as bad that way. So, I can never tell it's Henry Cavill. Maybe I'll paint a mustache on him. Sorry, Stu. The detailing on the suit, again, other than the size, they made him a little bit bigger. The suit looks really good. Same details. No other major changes that I can tell from the BVS suit, just brighter in color. Same belt. I don't think Superman would have changed his costume by now, but like I said, maybe there is another Superman that we'll find out after the movie comes out that we're going to get from the line. Let's take a look at the articulation on this guy. His head looks left to right. Can look up, which is nice. This is the most posable for any of the heads on the Mattel figures so far of this Justice League line. It's got a good range of motion up and down. Can tilt a little bit. Left to right's nice. Shoulders go up above 90 a little bit, so a little bit of a flight pose isn't so bad. An open hand would have been nice, or kind of like a flash hand where you have a hand out like that would have been kind of cool. Arms go all the way around. Shoulder, geez, I have a hard time with this. Bicep, it's a bicep, Rob. Bicep swivel, single bend at the elbow, a twist at the wrist, no ab crunch. I mean, I can understand. I mean, it would have been nice to have, but if it was just a straight blue and no other texture in here, I think they probably would have with the muscle definition. So he twists at the waist, classic T-jointed hips. It goes back a little bit again, the butt's get in the way. Forward, enough. Upper thigh cut, single bend at the knee, and an ankle hinge. So, not bad. To me, this is an improvement on the BVS Superman just because he's taller. I think that's my biggest takeaway. For somebody saying, gee, I really don't want to have to buy another Superman when I already have the BVS. It's just cloth cape versus plastic cape, but if it wasn't from the Collect and Connect, I wouldn't. So let's just bring up Superman, the BVS Superman, so you can tell the difference of the two. And here is the difference of the two. Let's slide them over just a little bit here. So definitely you can tell the cape. I mean, the plastic cape does kind of look cool, just being kind of billowed out. This is the Man of Steel cape that they made just a little bit larger. Matter of fact, the cape almost could be the same size, where it's kind of coming in between the legs a little bit. It's not really back heavy or anything like that. So you got the cloth cape next to the hard plastic cape. I mean, to each his own. I've seen some people take this hard plastic cape off because they just want a nice cloth cape. You could probably buy better material so it drapes a little bit more, and that might be something I could do. I doubt at this point I'm going to. The head sculpts are different. The hair on each one of these has gotten progressively a little bit sleeker. Superman's only been alive for a little bit, so his hair hasn't had that much time to grow. But so this hair was a little bit beefier. He's gotten less and less hair with every movie. He has a lighter skin tone in Batman vs. Superman, but I think in the face sculpt, I think this is a little bit better. The mouth looks a little bit more Henry Cavill in this one, but I'm liking the Justice League mouth and head sculpt. So again, like we did with Aquaman, there's the size. I know the BVS Superman, I've always got his knees bent. Really weird. So he's doing it again. So he's leaned forward just a tad. Not much, but you should be able to tell, as I drop my phone, that he is, in fact, the Justice League Superman is taller, like I have been saying. So it's not too bad. I like the size. Let's bring up the Man of Steel Superman, so you can see the natural progression of how things went. So I know in some of the shots it's kind of hard to tell. With this figure being slightly up in the shot, it looks like the BVS is a little bit taller, but actually it's going to be... the whole Justice League line just loves to fall. And they don't normally, it's the rotating table. So I've had them sitting on my shelf and they haven't taken any tumbles at all. But I think you get what I'm trying to say here. Man, I knocked the camera all off. So there are all three. Technically, I have the fourth downstairs. If I didn't pick up all the Man of Steel Superman, I didn't see the need to. Unless I was Stu Murray 47, then obviously I would have. So I think I can try and get a shot of all of them. Hopefully nobody wants to fall. Of the progression of their heights. It's just slight. You can kind of see he's still a little short. We get a little taller, and then it's just a little bit. But I think over the course of however many years that we've been in the Movie Masters line, that they have just slowly started raising them back up. So that's pretty cool. All right, you know what time it is? It's Collect and Connect piece time. Let's take a look at the two pieces that came with Superman, the lower torso, which his upper thighs are right here. You can see this. So it's just under his tunic. So I was looking at the legs, leg from Aquaman. I thought I feel like there should be more leg here, and I forgot it's going to be the upper thigh swivel is where the Collect and Connect is going to go. We'll do that in just a second here. So there is the lower torso. I think, did I say Darkseid? Steppenwolf? Man, if I said Darkseid, I apologize. Steppenwolf. So looks pretty cool here because you kind of see his skull belt right there. Again, the connection points, and then another connection point here for the upper torso. Can't wait to put this together. And we have Steppenwolf's face. So this is probably the closest view, the best view we have of Steppenwolf so far in this toy form, and with everybody else looking pretty much spot on. Again, for Mattel, but you can definitely tell the actors there and what they look like. I believe this is what Steppenwolf is going to look like. So if he looks anything different, I mean, it could be like Ares. The Ares figure from Wonder Woman does not look like how he does in the film. I like the toy version better. So we probably should focus. There we go. We should probably put this guy together. I'm going to tell you now, he's going to be in a review all on his own. Here, we'll stretch it out for one more video, but we will connect all of the pieces together. So let's start with the lower half, connecting the legs. Make sure I get these on correct. There we go. Nice. So already, if we bring Superman up here, let's give you a little size. Steppenwolf is already just about as tall as Superman is, just in his torso. So maybe this is just all the bigger he is. Maybe he's just a head and a lower waist. So let's put the rest of him together here. We've got the upper torso that we've had completed previously, so that has been nice. Oh, wow. That is impressive. And the head. And I'll form the head. There he is. Oh, that is so cool. But we'll wait till the next video. Alright, let's do a final thoughts on Superman. I like this guy. I like him a lot. I think turned out well. Yes, they increased the size. I think this is where the multiverse probably should have been to begin with. I'm okay with the cloth cape. I think it does for a little, wind purposes there. It does work. I can understand the argument both ways of liking the cloth cape and of not liking the cloth cape. It's something that can get tore and chewed up and get dirty and may not look as good. The plastic cape does look a little nicer in some respects, but it is stiff if you've got vehicles like the Batmobile or other play sets with characters that have capes. It's not as conducive to have. Like, I've seen people take the plastic capes and then they cut them off and put on their own cloth capes. So if you were planning on taking the cape off anyway, you can do a better cape than this, but I'm not saying it's horrible either on the same breath. I'm glad to have Superman. This is one of those, I think somebody might be saying, well, why put this Superman out right now before the movie comes out? Because it's a foregone conclusion. We know Superman's coming back in this movie. Do we know, is he going to be in a version of the black suit at all? Some different type of suit? Is he going to have a beard? Are they going to show him with his mustache? So I think if they would have put that version of Superman out now, it would have spoiled his entrance when we know we're going to get here. And maybe we'll just get here to begin with and there's no other version of Superman out there in the Justice League movie. I'd like to think so. Maybe Mira should have come in this wave now rather than be part of Amazon, and then bring Superman out later with the standard Batman and then the Cyborg that's got the full helmet on. That would have been cool to maybe add a little bit of suspension of disbelief, if you will. Like, is Superman coming back? We all know he's going to. But in the toy line, you could have waited just a little bit. But at the same time, for people going out buying the toys, to have all the Justice League together will be pretty cool. So with saying that, let's actually bring up the entire Justice League. And here is the completed Justice League. So the movie is still about 98, 99, could be 97 by the time this video comes out. We're 90 plus days before the movie comes out, and it's cool to have the whole entire Justice League, and Steppenwolf is right off to the side. So we'll bring all these guys up again with Steppenwolf once I do his proper review. So it's been fun to collect this, and it's only taken me a week to pick them up, which is pretty cool. And Cyborg likes to fall off the back of the table because I didn't get everybody spaced out properly. But they look cool, and I can't wait to put them on my shelf in anticipation for the movie coming out. And these two bad boys are falling here because they got their poses a little different. But very cool. It wasn't all that hard to find them. I know I went to one single store and bought the whole entire wave, and that was a week apart from one another. So this has been a fun wave. I think Mattel has done a really good job of doing these multiverse figures. With every iteration of the multiverse, they're putting a little more time and care and money into the product. Yeah, I know they're not Mafex and all that other stuff, but I think they look really good. And I'm very happy to have all of them. So today we've been taking a look primarily at Superman, but more importantly, the completed Justice League. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues signing off, saying we will see you guys next time.